Hello, Packer fans, back again with a preview for this week's Week 5 matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Should be an interesting game, another Monday night game. Been a long time to rethink after that terrible game against Detroit and in Lambeau. And it looks like Aaron Jones will be fully ready to play. Christian Watson fully ready to play. Jair, not so much. Sounds like his back injury was a little more serious. So what the hell are we paying him for? Who knows? But if you like the video here, give it a thumbs up. Comment, share, all that and everything. But hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get into it. Now, last week's performance was just dreadful. As I mentioned in my video about the week, is just I was at a loss for words at how bad it was. Now the Lions are one of the best teams in the league, so maybe that can explain it. But still, it's a division opponent. They should have shown up better, especially after the way it started. There's no reason why it should have ended the way it did. Now the blocking for this week is gonna be very crucial. Max Crosby is going to be looking for Jordan Love, and he's going to try early and often. So that offensive line is going to need to be much better against him, because otherwise he's going to eat them alive, and it's going to be a very short day for Jordan Love. Not saying he's going to get injured, but Max Crosby is just a beast. He can literally run anything, and that blocking protection scheme needs to be ready to go. Blocking has been pretty crap the past couple of weeks. It needs to get better, and yeah, it just needs to improve. Not only for that, but they need to be able to run the ball. Now, the Raiders' rushing defense isn't that great. Aaron Jones, since he's fully healthy, should be ready to go. Should be have a great game, and it should be a nice change of pace without A.J. Dillon in the starting role, because A.J. Dillon has shown the past couple of weeks that he is a clear backup, change of pace running back and nothing more. He will never be a starter because he's just not fast enough. But Aaron Jones needs to improve and get better. He had that first great game in the first week, but he's just hasn't, because he's been injured, but he's going to need to run well and often. Packers are going to have to establish the run if they want to take pressure off Jordan Love, because last week we saw if they can't run the ball, the defense will just pin their ears back and knock balls away, pick off all day long. Like, it's a standard of football, especially with the Packers offense. Lead through the run, open up for the pass, and there it will get a lot better. Now Christian Watson should be ready to go. Romeo Doubs should be ready to go. Hopefully Luke Musgrave is able to play. That would be a big plus, because he didn't play very well last week, and he left early because of the concussion. Hopefully he's passed the protocol and ready to go. Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks. The Raiders' defense is not great. Other than Max Crosby, they really don't have much, to be honest. And with Chandler Jones being ceremoniously dismissed from the team, they're going to need to get on them early and often. They shouldn't be able to have a good offensive day. But again, it all starts with that rushing attack. If they can't run the ball, it doesn't matter. Now, they might be able to get away with it because it is the Raiders, but they need to be able to establish the run early and often, because next couple of games after that, they're going to need to be able to run the ball well against some of the teams coming up, because the schedule doesn't get any easier. They just have to do it. It's just so frustrating watching this team. They have young guys, but they're talented. There's no reason why the offense should be so gummed up like it was last week. I mean, the engine that is the Packers offense was just not ready to go last week. They just looked off. There's no fluidity in the offense. Could not do anything. Jordan Love had no time to throw. He was just getting attacked early and often. It was a big mess. Plus, the play calling was just awful. I mean, starting off the game with 6 straight passes, I don't care who you're playing against, especially against a good defense like the Detroit Lions. You don't start off the game with 6 passes in a row. You have to start running the ball a little bit to keep the defense honest, and they just couldn't do it last week. They have a great opportunity to do that this week against the Raiders, who, like I said, are not the greatest defense in the world, just not a great team overall. I mean, they're literally forced to keep Josh McDaniels because they literally don't have enough money to buy him out. That's how crappy of a position the Raiders are, and I feel terribly for Devontae Adams going there to play with a friend who's no longer on the team, being stuck in that absolute garbage pile of a team. I mean, the Raiders are awful. Now let's talk about the Raiders a little bit. Their one true offensive weapon this year has been Devontae Adams. They have not been able to run the ball. Their blocking has been terrible, and they haven't been able to open holes for Josh Jacobs. Now, as we've seen in the past couple games for the Packers, they have not been able to stop the run. They are going to have to be able to stop Josh Jacobs. If Josh Jacobs runs wild, it's going to be a short day because if they're able to run the ball, Devontae Adams is going to be running free. Like, seriously, Devontae Adams could go for 300. If he's healthy and ready to go, that's a scary thought. Devontae Adams could seriously go for 200 to 300 receiving yards. The way he's been this year, he's played against some good defenses, and against a defense like the Packers, he could eat them alive. So it's critical. Have to stop Josh Jacobs, at least limit him. Jacobs hasn't had a great year to begin with, but they cannot leave big gaping holes for him because he will take them and they will kill the Packers. Like I said, the defense the Packers has not been great of late. Sure, they've gotten a few sacks here and there, but it's just the rushing attack. The rushing defense has been pretty terrible. To put it in a word, I could say a nasty word besides that, but let's be honest, it literally has been crap. The Packers' rushing defense. Now they're just gonna have to be better. Kenny Clark is gonna just need to man up and show that he's worth the money we're paying him. Same thing with Rashawn Gary. Didn't have a great game last week. Nobody on the defense had a great game last week. Just gonna have to take advantage of Aiden O'Connell because I'm assuming Aiden O'Connell is gonna play this week. I don't know if Jimmy G will or not. I'm just going to assume Aiden O'Connell is playing this week. Who is a good young quarterback? They're showing he has something. He's not the worst thing in the world. He can run an offense. It's just would the Raiders offense be a little better with Jimmy G? Probably, but I'm going to assume Aiden O'Connell is going to play this week. And it's just you're gonna just need to be better at every level of the game because last week just couldn't cut it. And even last week's performance against the Lions, they probably would have gotten beat by the Raiders. But their performance last week, to be honest, it wasn't good. They're just going to need to be better, get in there early and often, sack the quarterback, force Aiden O'Connell to take some interceptions, maybe cause a fumble here though. They're just going to need to cause turnovers, which I know they have not been able to do all year. They're just going to have to do it. They're going to have to stop the run early and often and double team Devontae Adams. I don't care. They don't really have a lot of other offensive weapons. Force them to throw to somebody else besides Devontae. You cannot leave one guy there, especially with Jair Alexander probably not going to play. They need to have Devontae double team, spy all the time. It's going to have to be done. Now we'll see what happens. I think the Packers ultimately win this game because I still think they have a more talented team, and the Raiders are just a mess. Plus, even if Devontae plays, he probably won't be fully healthy, so he'll probably still be worrying about that shoulder. So, like, he didn't practice at all today, so it could be a concern going forward. But even a injured Devontae Adams is still better than a lot of wide receivers in the league. So, again, we're going to have to double team him, keep him honest, and force him to throw in other directions. They're just going to have to do it. Packers defense should be better than what it is. And I know the defensive play calling has been bad because Joe Barry is a terrible coach and he should have been fired last year. There's no reason why he should still be a coach for the Green Bay Packers and probably shouldn't be a coach for any other team going in the future because he's just bad. He doesn't know how to adjust and yeah. But that's enough of my rant to the Ravens. I think the Packers ultimately win 27 to 21, something like that. It should be a close game for the most part, just because it's just what the Packers do. They can't dominate anybody. Yeah, they can dominate the Bears, but who can't dominate the Bears? Because the Bears are terrible. But yeah, 27-21 sounds like a reasonable score. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Raiders end up winning, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and all of that. But have a great day. God bless, and most importantly, go Pack Go.